In this question, we are going to talk about stakeholder engagement and communication management area, which is pretty tricky in the exam, as well as from the understanding viewpoint. Hello everyone, this is Mentor Tooba and I am back with another PMP scenario. This topic is of personal interest to me because in this question, we are going to talk about stakeholder engagement and communication management area, which is pretty tricky in the exam, as well as from the understanding viewpoint. So let's check our scenario first, and then we will discuss it in detail. The scenario says that you are managing a large project with diversified set of stakeholders. During the project execution, you realize that a critical stakeholder is showing cold behavior, not attending project meetings, and not responding to your phone calls. What's your best course of action? Review the stakeholder is your first option. Option B says review the stakeholder engagement plan. Option C says review the communication management plan. And option D says reassess your power interest matrix. And the correct answer to this question is option B, review the stakeholder engagement plan. Okay, let's begin step by step. First of all, in this particular case, the problem is that there is a key stakeholder, right? That is a key or critical stakeholder who is showing cold behavior, not coming to the project meetings, not responding to your phone calls. All of this shows resistance, unhappiness about the project or the project manager or the project team or the project work, but clearly he is not happy with your project work. Now, as a project manager, what is your best course of action? If you carefully check the option choices, reviewing the stakeholder register and the engagement plan and the communication management plan, which are the primary artifacts during the stakeholder engagement and communication management process, one way or the other, A, B, C makes sense. Like there's possibly a chance that you would want to go to stakeholder register and you want to check what are the needs, expectations, and interest and connection of this stakeholder to the project objectives or to the project outcomes. Like what's the real interest of this stakeholder to the project, which stakeholder register is going to inform you about. Communication management plan can also be helpful to check that is there a communication channel or reason why communication is not really working for this stakeholder, and that's why he is not happy. Or maybe there was a particular report or communication that was supposed to be with him and he didn't receive it, and that's the reason why he's not happy. However, the question is also asking about the best course of action, or the whenever you see the best course of action in the in the ask of the PMP question, they are asking about the immediate next thing or the immediate very next step or review that you should be doing, right? So although A, B, C makes sense in this particular case, but the best course of action in this situation is to check that why this stakeholder is not engaged in this project. He is clearly not engaged or not supportive. Being not engaged means he is not supportive or positive towards the project as of now. So why is this the case? There can be possible reasons, multiple possible reasons for this. Maybe You don't have a rightly crafted strategy to engage him in the engagement plan, or probably there is a rightly available strategy to engage him, but that's not being effectively implemented by the team or the project manager. And in both of the cases, the engagement plan is the right artifact for that. So you should be going straight to the engagement plan, checking that what really was suggested for this particular stakeholder to keep him happy and satisfied about the project, and why that strategy is not either implemented, and if implemented, then why it's not working. That's the number one reason why this is the best course of action, because that engagement plan will give you the right idea about what's happening and why it's happening with this stakeholder. Number two reason why engagement plan is the right option to do is, if you remember, there is a very important section in the stakeholder engagement plan which says stakeholder uh, not communication, stakeholder engagement strategy metrics, which is also available for each of your stakeholder of the project in this engagement plan, which says that a particular stakeholder can possibly in 5 states at a particular point in time, like unaware, resistant, neutral, supportive, or leading. So when you are performing stakeholder engagement during the project execution and project work, a particular stakeholder can be in any of these 5 states, out of which unaware and resistant are negative engagement or negative attitude of a stakeholder towards the project. Supportive and leading is a positive traits that a stakeholder is showing or should be showing, and neutral is like neither positive nor negative. So in our case, the stakeholder is standing at this point. That's the current state of the stakeholder, and the desired state is supportive. So as a project manager, you need to take this stakeholder from resistant to the supportive state. And to do that, you need to go back to your engagement plan and you need to check that what really needs to amend in the engagement strategy for this stakeholder to make it working for you and for your project team, as well as for the betterment of the project. So that's why B is the correct answer. After you're going to the engagement plan, you may get to know that maybe some of the needs and expectation stated in the stakeholder register was not updated, and maybe you may need a revision in the stakeholder register, or you may require a revision in communication management plan, or both, or none. That depends on how your review of the engagement plan for this stakeholder uh, is going to help you with. D is definitely not an answer in this particular case, for the reason that power interest, at least as per the scenario, is not really changing for this stakeholder. So based on the power and interest, the analysis of the stakeholder, like already the question is saying this stakeholder is important and critical to the project. So we already know that based on our power interest analysis, this stakeholder is standing in the high power, high interest grade, and accordingly, the strategy and the engagement plan should be made accordingly, or should have been made accordingly. So nothing is really changing on the power interest ground for this stakeholder, and accordingly, reassessment or reanalysis on that ground is not really needed as of now. So this is the reason why engagement plan is the right option choice for this question. I hope you like this explanation and you enjoyed this question. Like I said, this topic is pretty tricky and pretty difficult in the PMP exam, so you make sure that you practice it well. Stay tuned for more updates and for more project management related content. Till then, take care. Bye.